welcome to the stream. So let me just double check everything is okay. Seems to be alright. Welcome everybody. And I guess let's just get into that. So I guess a bit of a summary of where I am on the seasonal world. My second base is starting to get into a good point. I still need to build up the storage. I have this kind of awkward thing in my current code where a lot of the code is kind of relying on the storage to exist. Otherwise, the code just doesn't work. And it's in particular around things like remote mining and that kind of stuff. Because specifically this is kind of considered the drop-off point where all the miners kind of go and just drop things. And obviously, since the code is just looking for a storage, if there isn't one, it will just not work. So there's definitely something I will need to address at some point. And I mean, the fix is obvious, right? Like, I just need to be more general about the places where I can actually drop off resources. It doesn't necessarily have to be a storage. It can be a container or a link, Basically, when you come into the room where you are supposed to drop off things, just find anything to just drop the resources into, and that should be good enough. So that's definitely something I need to fix. But once this actually gets built up, this area is actually pretty nice. I can mine down here, I can mine here, there's one source over here. Potentially I could also mine over here, although like it's not too far away, but there's a lot of swamps, so I'm not super sure about that. And looking at my surroundings, I'm getting the feeling that I should kind of get ready for war soon enough. There's a couple of people that are not really doing much, but Smake is doing quite a lot. I think this is his second base, isn't it? Oh no, this is just reserved. No, this is claimed. Okay, no. Yes, so correct. So this would be the second base. So yeah, I mean, it's starting to kind of fill up. And yeah, there's a bunch of people that have already 3 bases, which means I'm way behind. But that's kind of expected. My code base is still very fresh. So yeah. Today I definitely want to finish up the respawn manager. So if you weren't here for the previous streams, this was kind of the big thing happening lately, is this class, respawn manager. So previously I had these methods that were like ensure remote rooms have builders, ensure remote rooms have miners and whatnot. All these kind of methods that make sure that we have enough creeps for a particular task. And in general, these are the like specialized tasks, like fighters, remote miners, where I kind of want to control the number of creeps that are doing that very explicitly. Basically, the creeps within a room are all going through this entry room has workers, and just following the limits that are set on the room. This one is relatively simple compared to the other ones. The biggest complexity I was kind of dealing with was making sure that, for example, if we are spawning a scout, that we don't like spawn, 20 of them. Hey Zos, welcome back. So that was kind of the big chunk of code I was dealing with. Making sure that I store things correctly, and if you look at my memory, previously it was a big mess of strings. Basically, I just serialized everything into strings. You can still see the leftovers over here. But right now, things are a bit cleaner. So we can go into a room, and then inside of the room, we have the respawn manager. And there's also the desired ownership, the scout allocated, the claimer allocated to this room. There's actually a thing I need to clean up because I I don't think I ever actually delete these values. Like, it's not a big deal, but it's at this point I don't think I should be spawning a scout or a claimer for this room anymore. I think the logic is correct. It's just these things are still leftovers. But yeah, I mean, this is, you know, nicely structured. Everything's just an object. There's no like weird stringified things. So much cleaner. And yeah, then I need to go and actually delete the old stuff still, because yes, we have a lot of leftovers, definitely. So yeah, I think the only piece I'm missing is the drills, I think. And actually we can double check that easily by just looking at the imports. Yes, so you can see when I'm importing the respawn routines, I still use the ensure sources as drills. Now, this one is a bit more special, because, so, going back to the memory, right? So when I have a scout or a claimer, there's only one per room, so I can kind of nicely nest it beyond the room, and it's very neat and tidy, you know, there's only one scout, one claimer, and that's it. So this is super neat and easy and, you know, great. Now, with the sources, this gets a bit trickier because each room has multiple sources. Now, the good thing is, as far as I know, we will never have like hundreds of sources in a room, right? As far as I have seen, and maybe you know, there are some special rooms, but so far what I have seen, rooms have like 0 to 3 sources, and that's kind of it. So we don't really need to worry about the data structures at all. As long as we have like, you know, maximum, even, you know, 20 elements would be fine. We can just use an array and don't really overthink things. But I actually want to test maps. So I've been struggling with maps in TypeScript and like how they get serialized into memory quite a lot. So I definitely want to have a look at if I can do it in some like neater way. So I know that if I don't use the map, as in the JavaScript map, and instead use like objects as maps, that will actually work. Now, yeah. So the problem is, yeah. So can I still like manipulate that the same way I would manipulate the map? Like adding an element. Well, actually I won't be really adding elements, to be fair. So maybe I don't even need to do that. But I guess the question still stands, like how do I, so if I have an object instead of a map, how do I like remove a key, add a key? Okay, so I can still kind of use the map syntax. Okay, you know what? I mean, that's... Oh, just doing delete. Ah, okay. Interesting. Now the question is, how will that actually play with TypeScript? So I know what I can basically do something like this. Class X, key string, and sure, let's just make it string. So I can do something like this. Now, if I do let X be new X, can I do... Right. So what I'm not sure if this syntax maps to like if this is the same as a map or if this is the same as an object. Because the problem is in TypeScript I can't really do so if I just have like class y, right, with nothing. If I do let y new y, then I cannot do this, right? Because I mean, yeah, it just doesn't work. So okay, I really, so first of all, let's just try this. So if I go over here and inside of memory, yeah, so let's just do an interface. So interface test object 2. Apparently I already tested something. Yeah, things happen. And sure, let's just make it interesting. So it's a map from a string to a number, right? And let's just check it over here. So then over here I will have test field will be test object 2, right? So then memory dot test field. So if we don't have it defined yet, then let's just define it. So this will be memory test field equals new y. Oops. New. Wait, did I? Oh, call it x, not y. Yes. Oh, and this needs to be number. Yeah. And I guess let's just put something in it, right? So memory dot test field at hello will be this, and then if it's already defined, then just print out content of test field is now I think this will just print object, right? But I can also print the explicit thing. Okay, give me a second. I need to just catch up with the chat quickly. Yeah, so the brackets as something is actually a bad habit that I picked up. I shouldn't be doing that. What I should be doing, I should be creating a class that conforms to the interface and then creating an instance of the class, because that's like the correct way to do it. If you just do brackets as, then you are kind of like basically ignoring TypeScript. You are basically saying, hey, like, just take this thing and I'm telling you that it's of this type. But the correct way is I should have a class that's of the type and then just, you know, print access it. Interface test object, yeah, but after this you get instead of x. Okay, we will see. Like, let me just, I will just push this. I mean, this will definitely not break anything. I hope. If you do, I mean, if you do, it's easy to just like remove and repush again. Where the heck is my rollup command? Here, right? So yeah, this is my coding. A lot of trial and error. Okay, I don't see anything exploding yet. So I think it's from this perspective, it's fine. Is it printing out? Failed to... No, that's not the correct thing. Content of test field is object. So it seems to actually serialize correctly. Let's have a look. Test field. Ah, okay. So interestingly enough, this seems to work. Dynamic property name. So, well, instead of hello, I will have source ID, which is a string anyway, so that's fine. Yeah, but the core thing that this kind of shows that this is actually treated as an object when it serializes, and it deserializes correctly, which is the important thing, because that was the thing that I was running into with the maps. They don't deserialize neatly. What's the point of having class X if you can have any keys? Right, so I think the point of this is basically that you kind of make it like explicitly a map, right? You will not get X in runtime. Yes, but that's okay. I mean, right, I get your point. Yes, I mean, this is only useful for the initialization itself. Basically what it boils down to, I should, like, either I have either I basically go this route, like here, where everything is optional, and if I do that, then I can use the thing as room memory, right? Because all of these are optional, so I'm not breaking any of the assumptions. But if I do this, for example, with this one, if I would do as job scheduler data, I'm kind of breaking the assumptions here, because this is basically saying that all of these things are defined. Hidden classes. What do you mean by hidden classes? Right, yes, so the other things, it will just be an object conforming to the interface. Yes. So again, this is really... So not using this is really just about... Okay, give me a second. How do I... Can I turn off notifications? Okay, anyway, I don't know how to turn that off right now. Now the problem is using objects doesn't really work with TypeScript. That's the core issue. Because you need to annotate it with some sort of type. Because the moment you kind of, if you're just saying that you just have objects, you're back to the like fully dynamic model, and then basically, I mean, you can do it, but you are really going outside of TypeScript at this point. because basically what happens is, yeah, I mean, so this works. I mean, we see, I mean, in the memory, you can see that it actually does work, right? Yeah, exactly. Like this works perfectly. And the good thing is, like, this is what I need, right? And then basically, for my use case, it will be slightly more complicated. So the key can kind of remain a string. That's fine. I mean, honestly, it will be ID source instead, right? But that's, for all intents and purposes, that's kind of the same thing, except this doesn't really work because this needs to be string or number. But I can just, you know, use the ID as a string, and it just works. The only difference is that it's just a type annotation. And then from there, I will be going to creep info, because it's a mapping of the ID of the source and the assigned creep to it. And okay, so for this one, doing this thing should be actually okay. So key can, so in TypeScript, key can only be a string or a number. It will not allow you to do anything else. But that's because how it maps to the like underlying basically objects, right? JavaScript objects. So this would be fine, because this is basically saying, like, I have an empty map or an empty object. Yeah, no, so okay, so let's just jump into the main, right? So what they're complaining now, not assignable, right? Yeah. Now this is an interface, right? Yeah, so this is another option where I actually do specify all the fields. And right, this needs to be creeping. So the thing is, what I can do definitely is, if I have ID source, will this work? No, so this is just okay, like this. So on the back end, oops, not this, was the other way around. ID is what I want to click on. Yeah. So it's a string with a type tag, basically. So I wonder if this actually, I'm actually not sure if this will work as I intended, but definitely, like, at least from the TypeScript perspective, this is now an ID source, but I can definitely do memory dot test field y equals this thing. So this works with an issue. Hey, Rose. Welcome and goodbye, yes. Good luck with studying. Yeah, okay, then good luck on the quiz. So the thing is, like, I can use the ID source as a string. That's not an issue. Because again, the IDs are basically a string with a type tag. Now, I'm still not 100% sure how the type tags actually work. So this is basically a map from the tag into the actual type. Cool, did it actually work? I didn't look. I'm too distracted. Yeah, more stuff will be coming. But yes, I have some, you know, some redemption options now. Yeah. The thing is, I just put in 10k. I actually don't know how fast people gain the points. So I might need to scale the rewards at some point. Because I actually don't know how to check that. Like, I don't know how to check who has, like, how many points. Which is a bit of an issue. Oh.
Hello and welcome. Is it the real Tika?
Oh, 2.4k. Okay. Ah, well, welcome to the stream. So, for people that are, you know, just joining randomly and are not aware, Tika is like one of the top players. Yeah, okay. I might need to scale the rewards at some point. But we will see. You know, enjoy the times where things are still cheap. Yeah. I need to figure out, so there's an ASCII art one that I really want to have working. But yeah, it's coding again. That's the problem. And I need to figure out how to make it work. Yeah, I mean, so these ones are fine to be cheaper because this is just like small stuff that people can just trigger, right? But yeah, there will be like TTS that you can just spend your points on, where you can just say something using TTS. And then the custom welcome messages, I think I will just scale them as people kind of like try claiming them. So like whenever someone actually claims it, then the next one will be more expensive, something like that. We'll see. Okay, anyway, back to the code. So yeah, okay, so the good thing is this definitely works. So basically then what I want to have in the respawn manager per room memory, this one, respawn manager memory per room, interface drill mapping, this will be well, key string into creep info, and this thing will be over here. No. Okay. Where was that actually? Right. Ensure sources have drills. Okay. So let's take this function. Oh, and we don't use this ensure controllers are owned anymore, so I can actually delete it. Cool. Wait, am I using this one? Remote source has fighters. I think didn't I replace it with something in the respawn manager? I think I did. Let's just double check. And ensure controls are mine. Ensure rooms has scouts. Ensure room has workers. Ensure remote rooms have fighters. Yes. So this thing shouldn't be used anymore. So this is just a leftover. Yeah. Cool. We are deleting some code. That's good. It's not something that happens very often. Okay, so ensure sources have drills. So let's move this thing inside of here next to the other ensure methods. And yeah, okay. Over here. Right. And I think this will kind of, we can, which of these? I think the scout will be like a good template for this. Yeah. Just copy the scout code. And considering like many of these are so similar, I might actually work on like refactoring this code so there's like one method and then just gets called with like specific things. Zeros, and again, good luck with the tests. Okay, so target this memory. So this will not be scout operations. This will be How do I do it right now? I do just source ID of sources. Because I call it with like specific room every time, don't I? I think that's actually what's happening. Where's my ensure? Okay, so I go over all the spawns. Ensure sources have drills inside of this room. Right. Okay. So I don't know which of the wording is like the established wording. I just use a drill for my creeps that only have one move and bunch of work pieces and just drop like just drill energy and drop it on the ground or inside of a container that's below it. But yes, I mean that's the idea. Right, no, but what I'm actually thinking about is what I do right now. I basically go over all the rooms that have spawns and make sure that all the sources in those rooms have drills assigned to them. Which means that I'm just trying to figure out like what's the outer rule basically. because previously that was happening from the main. Like in the main I was looping over the things, but these methods are all like self-enclosed. This is just, you know, it doesn't take any parameters. So I need to figure out what I will loop over. And wait a second. So in here, spawn room sources, room data dot sources. Okay, so this is straight up available from room. Okay, so I think it should be the same logic then. I just go over all the rooms where I have spawns. Loop and not take like basically, like I basically want to move the looping logic inside of this method, and since I'm kind of changing things around, it's just a question of like what exactly should I be looping around. The thing is, this is actually broken because this kind of assumes that there's only one spawn per room. Hey, welcome back, Brainward. And I still don't understand why your color changed. Like, did you change your color of your name? Or like what happened? Because yesterday it just flipped to red. Now it's green. What the heck? Is that something you can do? Like change the color of your name on Twitch or something? How does that work? Ah, in chat settings. Okay. Man, don't confuse me. Okay. So I think what I want to do is, so we have these game dot rooms, right? So this thing has rooms that are visible, right? So let's loop over that and basically let's check. Does this have dot? Can I like find the spawns? Wait a second. How do I actually? Now I'm realizing that I should already have this logic because I do it for the workers, right? Ensure room has but this one is per room. And here just do it. Find my spawns. Wait, so this one. Where the hell do I call it? Ensure room has workers. Oh, it's over here. Well, I mean, if yeah, it's a bit of an awkward code. Yeah, you are right. But the thing is, how do I loop over rooms? Maybe the code is robust enough that it will actually not matter. Because so if I don't have spawns in the room. Yeah, okay, so I think it will. Yeah, okay, so this code is actually robust enough to work fine. So if I just loop over all the rooms that I have visible, this will work because this just looks for the spawns inside of the room. And yeah, that's actually fine. Yeah, no, it's not really about performance. It's more me thinking about the structure of the code and if it makes sense. Also, don't forget, like, the way I'm kind of respawning the things, ordering of things actually matters, because of this, where I can like lock down the room, and the spawn can be busy. So it actually matters like the order of in which I call these methods. But yeah, actually it should be totally fine. The only thing I was kind of stuck on is what exactly should I be doing inside of this method. But yes, I can basically do the same thing I do for the workers, not the scouts. Right, so I start with the, yeah, let's take a room. So if the room is locked down, then just skip. Right, so the limit, that's not a thing. Right, so this thing I actually want to move out over here. So I first want to find my spawns. And yes, if I don't find my spawns, then just skip out. That's fine. Yeah, so this is for ensure sources have drills, and for ensure what was it, something workers. Ensure room has workers. So these are local spawns. These never spawn from adjacent rooms, which maybe I want to adjust eventually. But actually this is working pretty well, so we will see. Like for now, definitely this is good enough, right? So okay, I need to figure out basically yeah, so this will do the logic where it looks into the drill map and checks if the creep is still alive, right? So that will be, so let's go over let's go over the drill maps. In my case, that is the drill mapping inside of the room memory. So actually no, so I need to go over the sources. Yes, that's the correct thing to go over. Room dot do I need to find them? Yeah, I think I may need to find them. No? Wait, am I just going crazy? Like, how exactly am I doing it here? Is this from the cache? Spawn room sources. Where's this thing coming from? Ah, right, yes, so this is actually the room data, the cached thing. Okay. Yeah, probably this should be a thing that gets initialized once, because this is completely static stuff that doesn't change at all. So let's just edit over here. So it's in room memory already. Oh, but this is the old one that's actually getting serialized, deserialized as a string. Right. Okay, let's take it step by step then. So first of all, let's call it sources new, and it will be id source, but it will be an array of these. So where... Yeah, this goes back to the initializing of things. So when we are constructing this thing, we go over all the rooms. If we don't have the respawn manager, yep. Now the question is, do I want to make the respawn manager responsible for setting this? Or do I actually want to place it elsewhere? Because this is pretty much like static data. I could actually put it into the room data, honestly. It won't be a big deal. Basically just over here, so... Well, I don't need to deserialize anything. I don't need to serialize anything. But... yeah, this basically the else logic. So if not room dot memory dot sources new, so if I don't have the sources initialized, then for the first time I basically need this logic. Except it will not be a set, it will be an array. Oh, so this, yeah, okay, so this will not be going through this will be straight up into the memory. So initialize it and then just add, not add, but push, right? Yes. Yeah, so the first time this thing happens, it will just initialize it. Now, where am I actually using this? Init main. Yeah, so this is again the nonsense with the fact that I don't really... I mean, honestly, this one can just straight up loop over the rooms. Like, why am I doing it through the spawns? That's weird. Yeah, let's fix this. I mean, if I just do let room of game.rooms. Yeah, I mean, I don't need... and I guess object values, right? Yes. Yeah, I don't need to loop over the spawns at all, because this will be just room.name and room. Yeah, okay, this was a very strange piece of code. I don't know why I did it like that. But yes, like, we will need to keep doing this because this will basically initialize the memory for the rooms, and then I will just then clean up the old stuff that's kind of still there. So okay, so this piece is good. So this means I will have sources new. Where was I? Drills, right. So then we can do room memory source is new. Right, just loop over the source is new. Perfect. Oh, it can be undefined, right? Oh yeah, totally. So if it is undefined, then just skip over it, because we know that that's some weird room that we shouldn't be looking at anyway. Yeah, so that's I think you missed it. So this was actually a thing I tested. So if you do it like this, it actually works fine. So we tested it with the main memory. Let me jump to the UI. Yeah, it serializes very nicely. It's still here I still have the old value with the integer, but yeah, pretty much things are working. Right, I will actually need to clean these things up, so let me do that before I kind of push more code and break everything. So test field. So this thing, yeah, let's just trash it. Refresh. Yeah, it should be gone. No, it's still here, damn it. This doesn't seem to be deleting it correctly. I think I will just need to trash it from code. Oh, am I just recreating it every tick? Yeah, okay, that's what's happening. Yes, okay, never mind. Yeah. So the thing I wasn't super clear on if this is equivalent to an object or if it's equivalent to a map. I think it's kind of equivalent to both, but this actually serializes as an object. Yeah. Still, like, things with TypeScript. Yeah, no worries. No worries. Go make some food. Not much is happening anyway. Man, these coasters, like, I bought these coasters, I was like, okay, like, I need some coasters because now I have like a big mouse mat. And these coasters just keep sticking to the things. Okay, you cannot see that, right? So this like completely defeats the purpose of a coaster. Like, if this drops, it's again making a mess like before. Like, what? Horrible design. And these weren't even like cheap. Damn it. I should have just bought like cheap ones and it would have been much better. Okay, so I go... Yeah, I need to... Yes, exactly. I basically need to get like the textured rock ones. Those actually will be perfect. These are basically like a strange rubber material, which is good because I think I can just machine wash it. But... like, they just don't work as coasters, which is like what I... Like, if I buy a coaster, I want it to work as a coaster. That's kind of the primary function. Damn it. Right, anyway, so we go... yes, so we go over all the sources, right? And basically, if the source doesn't have a drill, then this is the drill will be spawning this tick. And... this will have a slight over limitation, so this will only, even if I have like multiple spawns in a room, or maybe actually I can make it work with multiple spawns. if I put this basically up here, no, that, so I would have to actually run it inside of the loop. Yeah, maybe I can make it work with multiple spawns. Okay, let's see. It's not a big deal because if it basically happens like 2 ticks one after each other, like it's not, yeah, that really doesn't matter. Okay, but the check I want to be doing is Creep alive for a very specific thing. Where was that? Has scout. Yeah, this I need to create this kind of method. Has drill for source. So if not, well, if this dot has drill for source, and I give it the source ID. Do I need to give it? Yeah, I think I need to give it the room as well. I will at minimum need the room name. Oh yeah, okay, so if this source has a drill, then just continue, skip over this. But if it doesn't, then what I want to do, I want to find a spawn, and I want to spawn a drill, basically. Yeah, okay, we are getting there. Finally, things are kind of clicking together. Okay. Bunch of this stuff can just go away. Okay. This piece of code I still want to keep around because this is actually the thing that generates the body parts. Okay. Yeah, so this will be make dynamic sized drill. Yeah. Okay, so first of all we need to write this has drill for source. So the has drill for source, private, no, this is different. I already have this method, but this one, I'm thinking, can I actually reuse it? Maybe I can. So this is for like the remote operations. Yeah, I don't, but I don't think I want to actually reuse it. So this will be room, and then source ID, which is ID of source. Why is this freaking out so much? I think I just made a mess in the function up here. Respawn manager. Yeah, one of these things kind of broke the syntax. But I'm actually not sure which one. Try catch. Yeah, let's just... No, workers is fine. That's... Yeah, not the... Let's just do this for now. I think it's somewhere in here that the things break, but... Yeah, now it's happy. I think that's just like mess of brackets happening there. Right, so... what we want to check, we want to go this room's memory for room.name dot drill map. No, not drill. Respawn manager dot drills. Yes, okay. Of source ID. Basically, this is the thing we are checking, right? And yeah, I want to do is creep is alive on this thing, right? So this will be the name of the creep, and then basically I want to check if the creep is alive. Okay. Right, so we need a couple of checks over here. So if these rooms memory, room name, yeah, this is the typical logic over here. Well, actually, can I actually shorten all of this? What if I just do undefined? What exactly are you complaining about? Object is possibly undefined. Which is like that. Yeah, I think I'm breaking the TypeScript compile somehow. I don't know. Like this should be possible to do, but I don't think it is actually. It's annoying. I would really like to have like one if, but I don't think I can. Yeah, I think I need to kind of do it step by step. So if not rm return false. Boolean, right. Right. So rm.drills. So if not rm.drills, return false. If not rm.drills source ID, return false, and then return this dot creep is alive, rm.drills source ID. Right. So if anything on the path is missing, then just return false. Otherwise, just return what if the creep is alive. Which should be fine. Actually, this takes undefined as well. Okay, so I can kind of skip this part. Yeah. Yeah, okay. So we have the has drill for source now. Which will be this piece. The other thing we were missing was the make dynamically say size drill based on the room capacity. Okay. Which I have over here. So this is all the make dynamically sized methods. And again, I'm pretty sure that once I'm kind of done with this like part of the refactoring, since I have all these like make whatever and then has whatever, I'm sure there's some sort of common functionality that just can be extracted and making everything much shorter, because all of these things are very similar right now. Yeah, like potentially basically this should be some sort of definition that just lies on the side, which is like the prefix of the creep and then just like the repeated body part thing, and it should figure out the cost automatically from the body parts. Yeah, there's definitely like all of these kind of can be just moved basically into pure data. So like the definition of the creep is in data, and there's one method that just spawns it based on the role. Yeah, yeah, 100% this can be simplified. But yes, you know, let's just get step by step. For now, we will just have a lot of duplicated code, but honestly, that's okay for now. Considering I just keep copy pasting it anyway, so it's not like I'm like taking time to actually write it. So energy cap -50. So this is all fine. Yeah, it has one move and then bunch of work. And the maximum what I want is 5 because then it's just like wasting time. That's the 5 should exactly match the the respawn of the energy, and then just return the area of body parts. Yeah, cool. So then I think honestly if I just do this, let's just look at the code. So yeah, if the room is locked down, we are not spawning, so that's fine. Which shouldn't really happen, honestly, because this should be... drills should be the first thing that we spawn. Because this is like the very foundation of the economy in each of my rooms. Right, so lockdown rooms, if you are locked down, then just skip over it. If you don't have information about the sources in this room, then just skip over it, or if the room doesn't have sources, then yes, the same idea. Then we go over all the sources, we check if we have a drill for that source. If not, we find a spawn, and we try to spawn using the first spawn, the correct role in the right. And somewhere here, I need to actually record that I'm spawning the mapping. So what are we doing? Yeah, okay, so basically this piece of logic. Yes. And the drills. The drills need to remember the source ID for sure. Right. Okay, so this thing we already know that doesn't work. Const name is this. So memory rooms room dot we do, yeah, we do have access to the room, so what's the yeah, so this should be room memory. This should be room dot name. Yeah, room dot memory. Room memory respawn manager claimer. Yep. So this will not be claimer, this will be drills at source ID, which no, it's just source, right? At source will be this creep, right? And this thing is potentially undefined, right? So yeah, so if not room memory dot respawn manager dot drills, then room memory dot respawn manager dot drills is a new empty object as drill something. What did I call it? Where is it? Respawn drill mapping, right? And this should be fine because this we are basically creating an empty map over here. So I'm hoping that's okay. Because again, I don't have a corresponding class that I can do a new on, so this is kind of the only thing I can do. Okay, so this should record the drill, but I still don't have when we were spawning. So row drill room. We need to record the room working through and source ID. Right? Okay. Yeah. So room name working through and source ID. Is source. Okay, I think that's fine. Right, we still need to mark the spawn as busy, right? I'm actually not doing it over here either. Or is that actually happening in the spawn single creep? Ah, yeah, it's happening over here. Right, okay. So we do it internally, that's fine. I think this should work. Now, of course, if I just push this, this will just go crazy and it will start spawning drills. But there isn't really a good like transition, honestly. And at least I cannot really think of a way to transition between the two different logics. Yeah, I think I would just need to push it. So then in my main, I just need to switch over things. So ensure sources have drills. Yep, that needs to go. That's fine. Then where I call it. Okay, so this thing. So this again needs to be based on room. So let room of object dot values game dot rooms. So go over all the visible rooms. And yep, so this will just be respawn manager, ensure we have workers, and respawn manager, ensure we have drills. Room. Should be fine. I guess let's see what explodes. Yeah, okay. I mean, I suspect this will explode at least something. I'm pretty sure. Let's see what exactly explodes. So this is working on a. So it's not like exploding yet. Let's see what's happening in the other room. So for now, the spawns are busy doing other stuff. So they haven't yet gotten to the actual like spawning drills code. But let's quickly check this thing. So now each room should have sources new. So okay, so this thing gets initialized correctly. That's good. That's good. Respawn manager. Yeah. We will see what exactly happens. So the source is new is correct. The moment this thing is done with the remote miner. It will be interesting what actually happens. It is spawning a drill. Okay. And it's spawning... where's the... Wait a second. Why did it... View memory. Why is this not doing anything? Interesting. Not quite sure what's happening there, but okay, let's see. So you guy, you have the source ID. Yeah, let's quickly check if, so in this room, respawn manager, let's just refresh the memory, right. So now respawn manager, not this one, this one. Here we should have information about the drill. No, I'm looking at the wrong room, this one. Respawn manager drills. You know what, I think it's working. Let's see if we don't like multi-spawn. No, it's working on remote miners. Okay. I think this code is actually working, which is cool. Okay, so then basically you are the old drill, so you should die. And where's my other thing? So this is the old drill as well, so you should also die. Cool. This was surprisingly painless. It's very unusual that just things work straight up. It's interesting, to say the least. Right, so what's the situation over here? Yeah, so this drill is going over here. Right, so you need to go away, and you need to go away. Which means, since the drills are working, the respawn manager is done. Man, that's good. That's great. Woo. Okay, now the question is, am I still using this thing? I honestly don't know. I don't think I am, actually. Well, easy to check. Let me just remove it. No, there is still some code that's looking at that. Where is that? Over... right, so it's like the default thing. So if we don't have a dynamic row, then we default to this. Sure, okay, I can keep it around, that's fine. But, okay, I shouldn't have harvesters anywhere. Let's just do like... how do I do like find in files? Yes. Harvester. This harvester and then respawn harvester. Okay, so there's... yeah, okay. This thing can go away. This thing can go away. Do I have upgraders? Hopefully I shouldn't have. Okay, so this thing can go away. This thing can go away. No. Okay, what I should also do is push it to non-seasonal. Yeah, okay, let's do that. That will definitely explode because I changed a lot of things. So let's switch to the persistent world. And let's push it. So this was straight grab roll up. Yes, there's a called main. Okay. Oh, come on. So there will be, yeah, many issues now over here. Oops, no, that was the wrong map. This one. Okay, so is anything? Yeah, things are actually respawn manager on a string. I don't even know what that error means. What the heck? Respawn manager. I mean, some of the things are working, but what exactly is this error? Respawn on line 34. Respawn on line 34. Room respawn manager. Rooms. That's that's very strange. But what do you mean check the type? Like, I mean, this is only happening when it's not initialized. But then I don't get the error. Wait, is this saying cannot create property? Oh, wait a second. Cannot create property respawn manager on... okay, I know what's happening. I have garbage in my memory, that's the problem. It's this thing. Yeah. It's rooms.limits. Yeah, this thing shouldn't exist. It's a weird leftover from something I did. And I think that was actually it. Okay, so this will now start... Yeah, now it's double spawning the drills, which is okay. So this will waste a little bit of resources, but other than that, we should be fine. Right, but I don't think... I think I will need to update my like remote operations and stuff. That's the job schedule. I don't care about that. Interesting. Wait. Yeah, I need to refresh. That's the problem. Yeah, now I have the respawn manager. Right. Yeah, okay. I basically need to reset up my like remote mining and things like that. Yeah. Okay. But that's relatively easy, fortunately. So... this room is fine. Yeah, so in this room, first of all, so this is E26S1. So yes, first of all, we need to set the desired ownership for this thing, which was add scout, remove change room ownership, right? Change room ownership for E26S1 will be reserved. Okay, yeah, and the problem basically now, like a bunch of these things will kind of double spawn creeps, but that's okay. Right, so that was one step. Then this thing, yeah, so this was at remote mining, right? This should now be in the respawn manager. I already have some of them. So which one is this one? Okay, so this one is actually correct over here. That's fine. Remote building operations. Okay, so these are set to 0. That's fine. Then I have other remote mining things over here. And yes, I think the thing I'm missing is just setting this one again. Yeah, okay, so these two are set to be remote mined. That's fine. But they definitely want to have this room reserved as well. Okay. What? Why is that not working? That's a bit strange. Change room ownership, E25, S2, again reserved. And let's just refresh. So now, let's see. Wait a second, is this not working? I mean, this should set it. Ah, it's under the respawn manager, okay. Yeah, there's a claimer, there's a scout. We should get the same thing for here. Right, and then we can delete some of this stuff then. So I think I'll actually do it in code. So memory.observerMap, that's deprecated stuff. Okay, let's just put it on the top of my main. Yeah, let's just remove these tests because we don't need those anymore. Okay, so memory.observerMap. So if we have observerMap, then just trash it. .observerMap. Oh, go screw yourself. Really? Well, that's annoying. Sure, I mean, I can just make it optional. That doesn't really change anything. Okay. And I don't think. Yeah, there's just this thing, but scout map shouldn't be accessed anywhere anymore, or still is. What? Wait a second, I'm running my scouts with the scout map? That might be an issue. What are you guys using this for? Scout map. Scout map get room. Yeah, this is just a memory cleanup. I don't need this. Yeah, let's just get rid of this. It's not really breaking thing, but definitely good that I kind of noticed that. Okay, so this thing can go away, that's cool. And I think we want to actually do the exactly same thing for the claimer map as well, because that's also a thing that should go away. And there will be the same issue over here. Yep. Yeah, so this is not even using it anymore, which is cool. Yeah, there will be a lot of this like cleanup that kind of comes from other places, because now that I clean up the spawner, a lot of the like weird code should just get lost. Okay, so claimer map, let's just move it. Yeah, so let's make it optional. And let's just delete it at the beginning of my main. So if memory.claimerMap delete memory.claimerMap. And yeah, let's just push it to main. Let's just double check if nothing explodes. Shouldn't be exploding. That's good. And I can push the same to seasonal. And I should really, yeah. Okay, so how do I add it into my config? So this would be package. Oh, I already have a push main, right? So I can do push MMO, push season, yeah. So this was damn it. MMO seasonal, right? So, yeah. MMO seasonal, yep. So then I can do npm run push seasonal, push season. Damn it. How do I not remember what I did like 10 seconds ago? This is ridiculous. Okay, so this should be fine. The seasonal word should be fine. Okay, what else do we have in memory that needs deleting? Let's just refresh this thing. So we have creeps, we have rooms. Creeps are fine because, I mean, they will... The good thing about creeps is they are kind of self-cleaning because they basically die and just take the memory with them, which is good. Right, then inside of each room I have sources, which is a thing that needs to die, and drill map, which also needs to die. And then I can actually rename sources new to sources, which would be very good. Okay. Yes, so if I have inside of a room sources or drill map, that also needs to go. So my memory... Well, okay, now I can actually remove these two and just get rid of this over here because we just cleaned it from both seasonal and non-seasonal. Then from my... Wait, do I have remote rooms? Ah, there's like the other nonsense over here. Rooms to control, spawning. Yeah, those things should also go away. Okay, so more cleanup over here. So remote rooms, definitely. Rooms to control, yep. Yeah, all these remote miners, remote sources, remote use sources, all these things are all deprecated. And yeah, I don't know why I wrote it in this weird way. Yeah, we can get rid of the test. And yeah, let's get rid of this. Man, I like doing cleanups of code. It's just like a bunch of deleting. So feels so good. Definitely. And especially now, like I'm removing like 90% of this data structure, which is so good. So we will still have the room snapshots. Wait a second. Sources is what? What even is this thing? Memory.sources? I don't even remember using this ever. What the heck is that? I mean, it's not set to anything. Weird. Okay, so we have like the UID, which I actually... Yeah, pretty much that's my goal right now. I don't even know what the UID is because I also don't see it over here, but I think this was here already from like the TypeScript starter. So right, okay, so we have the room snapshots. That's another thing that we'll need to get cleaned up at some point, and the main thing is the respawn manager, and I guess that's it. Okay. So all of these things should just be deleted. So again, if memory dot this thing, then delete memory dot this thing. Yeah, and I'm sure I could do some sort of like block edit to make this easier on myself, but don't know how, which is the usual problem. Okay. What am I doing? Memory.test, yes. Yeah, I was just mentioning it that I'm sure there's a way to do like a block edit to save myself a lot of time, but I have absolutely no idea how to do that. But yes, totally correct. And welcome back, indeed.
Welcome back, welcome back.
Okay, yeah, let's push season because I think that's the... No, I don't... Ah, damn it, I pushed the wrong thing first. What? Oh. Is not assignable. Oh, we actually have some sort of errors happening. Okay. So on line 31, like this is a thing that's really weirding me out because wait, what? I really don't understand why the ID doesn't see these errors and then the compiler does. Argument of type string is not assignable. But wait a second, which one is that actually? Limit is a number, so it says... Wait, what? Oh no, it's in here. I have two files called global. Obviously I do, because I'm smart like that. Right. Yeah, this needs to go. This definitely needs to go. So memory spawning, yeah, we don't need this anymore. Remote rooms, rooms to control, that's all going away. Yeah, rooms to reserve, rooms to control, spawning. Yeah, the only thing I want you to store is the cached room info for now, and that will also go away eventually. Right. Still errors, okay. Does not exist on type global. Why is my ID not complaining about these errors? What the heck is happening? But yes, okay, so now we have the issue with now it's picking up, okay. Yeah, this was super strange. I don't know why. Maybe it's some sort of setting where it's not like refreshing fast enough, or I don't know. Right, okay, because this is, I know exactly what's happening. This is the same situation as the previous ones, where I'm passing in the drill map, but I don't need it anymore. It's over here, right. So I just want to call it with that. So the drill map, yeah. I do need the source ID. Yeah. But I can actually do this. Man, this will, like, this thing I just did will just ripple through my code. There's like a lot of these like weird like pass-throughs that will just go away, and all, like, I'm so happy about this. Like, this will simplify the code by a lot. Are you finally working? Okay, so the push season push main. Hopefully nothing will explode. Let's see. Yeah, I think we are still fine. Let's have a quick peek on the memory. Yeah, so now we have just the creeps, rooms, and respawn manager. Good, good. We still need to clean up the rooms themselves, which is fine. Let's just quickly check up on the seasonal if nothing broke in there, because again, these are slightly out of sync, so hopefully nothing broke, but let's just make sure. Seems to be working fine. Good. And we are almost done building this thing, which is great, because then I can start remote mining again. Okay, perfect. Progress is great. Right. So now, since it's cleaned up, this thing can go all away. Very good. Man, it's so short suddenly. It almost feels weird. Okay. Yeah, let's just get rid of these experiments over here. Right. And as I said, we need to kind of clean up the rooms. I think I can do it over here. So room memory, right. So the good thing is, for the most part, these are already optional. Right, so drill map, this thing is going away, sources is going away. That should be it. So sources new, that's the new list of sources. Limits, that's still remaining. Job scheduler, yes, that's still remaining. And respawn manager is the new thing. Right, so if memory dot rooms room dot name dot sources, then please delete sources. And if memory rooms room name dot drill map, what? Drill map, delete the drill map. Cool. That should be good, I think. Okay, since I have the season open, let's push there first. Now, I don't actually know if I had anything in there, to be fair, on seasonal. It's mostly like leftovers. Interestingly enough, it's not getting deleted. Wait a second, what is this loop again? Game.rooms. Let me write it in a different way. So for let room of object dot values of memory dot rooms if room dot sources and this dot jewel map yeah, let's just do it like this, because this will for sure iterate over all the rooms that I have in memory, which the other one doesn't necessarily because it's just the visibility. I mean, it should still be the same. I don't know why it wouldn't. Still not doing it. How many subs do I have? That's a good question. I don't even know. Yeah, I need to change the overlay. That's actually a great point. Wait a second. Let me write that down, because I have been kind of writing down things to do that I need to do kind of offline. Okay, change overlay to display number of subs and latest sub. Yeah. But I think I have 4 subs. Let me just... Can I see that? It wasn't what I meant. I wasn't fishing for subs. You guys. But thank you. Yes, so now I have 5 subs. Yes, I think that's correct. Thank you. Yeah, I definitely need to update the overlay, and this is still not working. How is this not getting deleted? What the heck? Am I just going crazy? What the hell? Or wait, I know what's happening. This is getting like reinitialized somewhere. That's the problem. What is actually accessing this? Delete room drill map. Main room. Ah, yes, it's over here. Rooms. Sources. Right, so this is the old code. Yeah, okay, so this needs to go. And the drill map. Right. Yeah, basically what happened was this thing would take it from memory, deserialize it, store it, and then at the end of the tick it would store it back, and I would like delete it in the middle. But of course that doesn't do anything. Okay. And I guess I don't need to serialize anymore on this thing, which is good thing. And just need to change my main over here. Spawn room. I guess this thing can just go like this. Well, let's see. I think that finally might have worked. Let's see. Yes. Okay. Finally, the old stuff is gone. Okay, okay. There is still one step of cleanup to do. Okay, first of all, I also need to push it to non-seasonal. That's a thing I have to not forget. New badges for subs, yes, and also not just badges, but like what the heck is the thing called? My brain is not working anymore. What do you call this thing? Damn it! Not emoticon. Yeah, my brain is shutting down. What the heck? You know what I mean? Like new fancy stuff for the chat. That needs to happen as well. Emoji, yes, emoji, new emojis, yes. Jeez, brain, come on. Right, so this is pushed, and again, the last thing I need to do, these test things can go away. So this goes away. Now, what I want to do is this. Basically, if I have sources new, then delete sources new. But what I will do over here, I will just duplicate this thing into sources. Now, I just need to flip everything to point to sources. So this should all end up working fine, because the thing I want to make sure is that it just gets initialized before anything accesses it. And because of that, since the content will be still the same, we should be fine. Yeah, so this is all flipped. Okay, I can actually double check that. So if I click on it now, it should only be in main. Yes. Cool. Okay. So now when I push this, and seasonal, damn it, season. I called it season. Goldfish memory, definitely. So, in general, if you have any suggestions for emojis, like, do let me know. I'm definitely open to suggestions. So this all should have switched. So let's just refresh and double check. Yep, now we have sources. Good stuff. I think everything is kind of clicking together now. Now let's just double check. Okay, first of all, let's just check on my other room, just to like visually confirm nothing is going super weird. But it shouldn't be really, like there isn't really a reason for things to break. Yeah, spawning remote miners, that's reasonable. Actually, can I already have a second spawn? No, not yet. Okay. Okay. Then let's go to the persistent world and let's just double check everything is okay in there as well. And again, we should be fine because there isn't anything like crazy happening. Let's just double check the memory that everything is okay. Rooms. Yep, this all looks correct. We have the drills. Very good. This all is looking very nice and tidy. Okay. So, because that is all fixed, yeah, I think I will definitely need to get like a goldfish emoji because yes, I definitely have the memory of a goldfish. So I think that will be appropriate. Right, what is actually happening here? Like this room is very underdeveloped. Yeah, I can build like a bunch of extensions over here. Oops, that's... Come on. And I think I kind of need like more workers in this room. Definitely. Yeah, let's tweak some of the settings. So this is rooms, E25 S3. I haven't been really paying attention to my like non-seasonal rooms too much, so and I feel like that's kind of getting problematic. So upgrade. Let's make that 6 workers. Repair is fine if there's only 2. Build jobs, let's ramp it up to 4. And refill should be 4 as well, I feel. Okay. So we should see more spawning happening. I suspect there's like a lot of... Yeah, there's like a ton of resources. Oh, not ton of, but there's definitely resources on the ground, which is bad. This is like 6,000 resources on the ground. Yeah, that's really bad. Okay. And actually, I think I should be able to build a second tower as well. Yes. Let's do that. Do I need to do anything in this room? What's the situation? No extensions. I can maybe build some links. Actually, having a link in this room might not be a bad idea. What's the situation in this room? Oh, in this room I think, yeah, in this room I can actually build a second spawn, but I don't quite know where to put it, and I don't actually need it that much. But yes, I definitely need to work on adding links. But that basically means that I need... yeah, so this one is dying, so it's getting replaced. That's all working fine. I definitely need to change the logic about where the creeps actually pick up resources from. Yeah. And I also think I can actually expand to another room. Now the question is like, where would I go from here? There isn't like a lot of super tasty stuff around. Maybe this room is kind of okay, I don't know. It's pretty tight over here. I could maybe get in here. GCL4, 2 rooms. Yeah, maybe I can actually take that. So there's like 1 tower over here. And what's in this room? 2 towers. No, 3 towers. Okay. Yeah, okay, interesting. Come on. Pick up on the creep. These are some very fat creeps. Yeah, I don't really have like this type of hauling logic at all. Which maybe is something to consider. Okay. Enough distractions. Yeah, okay, so that thing is done, means I can get rid of this thing from here. And get rid of this loop. Okay. Good, so the respawn manager is done. And pretty much what I actually should do as like the finishing touch is basically I use it in a bunch of places. But honestly, what should be happening is pretty much just one method that just called run, and all this code should just move to there. Not the job scheduler, this thing. Yeah, so we just follow the priorities. So first we do the drills and the workers, then we do scouts and controllers, scouts and claimers, I guess that's the correct thing to say. Respawn manager, then we do remote operations. And yep, that should be it. So that means all of these can move to private, which is just perfect. And then all I need to do is respawn manager.run. And I guess yeah, these logs are becoming it's like no code in between. Okay. So this one will be CPU spent on respawn logic. And I guess instead of performance, I should just go for some nice emoji. Is there some sort of like electricity or something like that? Energy, no, there's no. No. Light. Ah, okay. High voltage, sure. I actually wonder, can I make this into like a... Yeah, I should make it into like a simple class over here because this is super repetitive. So class CPU measurement. So this will need constructor. Right, so this needs to be initialized with this thing. Oh. Private current CPU will be, what does this return, number? Yes, number. And then yeah, basically this logic should be called last. Okay, and CPU spent on, and this will be a parameter. Yep. Yeah, something simple like this. This dot last, and then of course I need to update, so this dot last is now. Okay. So let's just create this thing. Oops. Over here. Rooms data. Right, so then just CPU logger.measure the serialization station. Yeah. CPU logger measure respawn logic. Then we have the job scheduler. Right. So CPU logger measure schedulers. Initializing actually, yeah, initializing schedulers. Right, CPU logger measure room defense. And then we have this big blob. Yeah, so we still want to log the buy roll, but yeah, the overall is still interesting. Creep logic. And serialization, sure. So CPU logger measure serialization. Okay. That made it a bit cleaner. So let's push to season and push to main. And let's have a look. Yeah, the respawn logic is pretty cheap. It's like 0.6, which is fine. A little bit more than cannot set property spawning of objects. Oh, we are still doing that somewhere. Okay. That definitely dot spawning. Ah, yes. Yeah, that was still a leftover there. Okay. Let's just jump to my room. Yes. So this is counting everything. So yes, when it actually respawns something, then obviously it jumps up because then stuff actually happened. Yeah. Well, 0.2 is intent cost, like per spawn, right? So I think this is just literally the cost. Yeah, but again, like that's a cost per each like initiated spawn, right? So yeah. I mean, anyway, like most of my CPU is on the creep logic, which is a thing I actually know how to optimize, but I haven't done it yet. Yeah. It's just that I need to make the workers actually more dumb than they are right now. Okay, so yes, the respawn is pretty well working right now. So we just do respawn manager create and then just respawn manager run, which is cool. Now I think the next thing I should start looking into is actually the new scheduler that I started a couple of sessions ago and never really finished, the fancy jobs. Yeah, so my code kind of scales based on like how many of these like remote operations I have and that kind of stuff, right? But it should like, yeah, it should remain relatively cheap. I don't really expect to see myself actually rewriting this code a lot, because I mean, again, like when it's just running, it's like below 1 core, at which point I'm like, eh. Yeah, like if it's not doing anything really, it's just very low. Obviously if it's respawning stuff, then like per respawn there's like 0.2 per like asked for respawn. But yeah, we should be fine. Yeah, there's a lot of logging that I still need to kind of remove because I really want to just keep the high level stuff, but just by getting rid of some of the unnecessary data structures, I think this actually cleaned up a bit. Yeah. And again, I don't think it will like jump up by too much because like the actual logic, so the per room logic is relatively cheap. The more expensive stuff is like the drills and that kind of stuff because that's like per source. Yeah, we'll see. So let's go back to this crazy thing that I started a while ago, because really need to decide if I want to start like digging into this today. Yeah, and I think I should actually... So the thing is, this was still written with me not understanding how exactly the memory kind of serializes neatly. But since now I managed to fix that, and now I actually know how to kind of store things in memory correctly. Maybe this entire thing should work quite differently. So the job scheduler... This should basically be a thing that lives next to the... Well, not next to the respawn manager, because that one is global. This thing actually will be... Or should this be global? Oh, I don't know. It could technically be global, which would give me the benefit. So if I have a global job scheduler, I could kind of hide things like the remote operations, because if I just have a global job scheduler, then it basically just becomes a job for a worker to just go and mine something. Yeah, so that's actually what I'm wondering about. If right, okay, well, let's just jump into it. So right now, definitely remote operation needs to belong to room, because first of all, I don't have like links and stuff, and I'm not using the terminals. So if I'm at that point, basically what needs to happen, the remote miners need to go and drop it off in a storage or in a container, but basically that's what needs to happen. The moment I have terminals, maybe it doesn't really matter. And also, what that would allow me to do is, right now I kind of have this special logic, right? That where I can actually build containers and roads in neutral rooms, which is a thing I'm not really using. I could use it, but the problem is then I basically then need to have some sort of logic that comes in and figures out that the containers need to be actually repaired. So I actually would have to send a worker from some room to go and repair it. But what that would allow me to do is actually, if I have a source, I can just sit a drill on top of that instead of having these like remote miners going in and out. And I could be way more efficient with that. I could just either have one creep sitting on this, and then I can just have haulers going around and picking up resources, which would be way more efficient. Okay, let's I don't think I will start working on this today, but let's just kind of think about it. So if I keep room local logic, this would be that the scheduler is per owned room. So for every owned room, I have a scheduler that's kind of scheduling its surroundings. This now, this would mean that I need to stay possibly doing remote repairs would be way too complicated. So I would have to stay with remote miners. Yeah, so with the room vision, I kind of have the similar logic where I basically ensure that there is a scout that's like sitting in the room. So that's a separate thing. That's actually so both actually it's even true for drills. So things that have like a explicit target, which is scouts, claimers, and drills. Those three things are actually not really scheduled. They are just because I always want to have those. So there's like no scheduling to happen. It's just like ensure that this thing always exists. At which point this is actually dealt with by the respawn manager. The things that I actually want scheduled is basically everything else. Right. I could do that. I'm just trying to think if... So, right, again, if I have terminals, then everything is just the same. Like all the rooms can be basically handled as like a single blob. Now, as long as I don't have terminals though, I'm in a bit of a pickle. Because I need to be more, like I basically need to kind of micromanage what goes where from the remote rooms. Okay, let's just... So what if we have a global job scheduler? So each room has jobs. These are like, you know, repair, build, etc. If a job needs doing, we can try to find a suitable creep that is not busy. I almost feel like this will be simpler if I just have it global. And it will explicitly be simpler for things like bootstrapping. Yes, I feel that I don't want to mix. So right, so there is job scheduling, there is resource scheduling, and there is also like respawn limit management. And I think that these three are different things that I don't want to like entangle into each other. So job scheduling is literally, I have the creeps I have wherever they are, and I have jobs to do. What is the best allocation for those creeps to these jobs? Right? I feel this is job scheduling, right? Resource scheduling is, I have resources available, and this can be energy, this can be minerals, whatever. How can I allocate these to creeps that need them for jobs in an efficient and non-colliding way? And the respawn limit management, I really feel this is more of like a strategic thing. So strategically, how many creeps of Brios types I should have around. Yes, I kind of feel that these are like three different things. Now, this middle one is a little bit iffy because maybe this isn't even really resource scheduling. This is like resource allocation guardian or something, let's call it, right? Because this really won't be resource scheduling. Like, the only thing I really want out of this is to make sure that I don't have like conflicts in creeps trying to allocate a resource from a specific place. So this will be, so okay, so I feel like the job scheduler here will be doing multiple things, right? So again, so some jobs are persistent. So these are scouts, claimers that reserve rooms, and drills. So I feel these jobs are basically, if these are missing, just spawn them, and the creep always has like a very explicit thing to do, and basically does nothing else. Potentially with the idea that eventually it could like react to like enemy creeps coming into the room and run away or something like that. But ignoring that specific logic, these are basically like static jobs, and these are not changing. But then there are dynamic jobs that are like I need to build stuff, I need to repair stuff, I need to refill stuff. And I really think this is like workers and haulers. Is that how you spell it? I hope it is. So this is what the job scheduling will be scheduling. And the thing is, all the workers will be the same. So I can use any worker for any job. The only special thing is I might have like special haulers just to be more efficient with just, you know, dragging resources around if that's actually needed. But workers are workers. So even now, like my miners are workers. Like there's no difference between a worker and a miner as far as like the body parts go, right? Like they're exactly the same. And the change would be that if I go with drills, even for remote rooms, then basically from time to time I need to send in a worker to repair things, but actually for the most part I will be just sending haulers to just pick up resources. So that would be like a, you know, from time to time that would be a repair job, and usually that would just be a pick up resources job. Yeah, so again, drills, that's what I mean by drill. Like, drill is just a thing that sits on the resource and just keeps drilling. I think that's like the most appropriate name that I could have came up with. Yeah, exactly. Regular miners are just workers. Right now they're in a special category, but they you know, that's just because that's how my current logic works. But technically they really shouldn't be, right? Right now they're a category remote miner, but they're just a worker. They just get tagged as a remote miner and gets sent to like a specific source to mine it. Okay. So if I go this way, this will be... Yeah, this is a bit of a different approach than I was trying to do before. But I think this will actually be cleaner. And I especially like the idea that I can actually... Because these are super inefficient. My remote miners are just horrifyingly bad at efficiency. Oh, wait a second. What is even happening here? Like I have... Oh, I know what's happening. This wasn't happening before, but because now I select the best spawn for everything, I have these situations where like some of them are coming to this spawn. Ah, okay. Yeah, this is not the best. It should be that only yeah, this source is only used from this room, and this source is only used from the south room. But yeah, there's definitely a need for the scheduler, for sure. Yeah, so the pool of creeps, that's kind of what I have right now. But the problem actually is that yes, I do have it per room. And it's not... Okay, so it's not exactly a pool... Okay, I have a slightly weird thing right now. So basically what is happening, there is a pool of generic workers, right? But then... And that's what the creeps workers is basically limiting, is the number of workers. And then each like job has a priority, but it also has a limit. So this means that if there are, I think it goes like build, refill, build, repair, upgrade. I think that's the order. So basically, if there are 6 creeps on refill, then it will go to the next one, and so on. So there's like a pool of the generic workers, and from there it kind of like trickles down to you know, to the lower priority jobs. And then there's like an implicit job that's just like sweeping resources basically, but I think that one is actually broken right now. So I kind of want to have a similar thing. I don't really want to have like specialized, like I don't want to specialize the creeps themselves to be like belonging to a specific job. Because I don't think that will be... I think that will be brittle again, right? Because then I have these situations where I need to have like a higher level logic that makes sure that the pools are sized correctly, right? By parts count, yes. Okay, so that's actually another thing. The sizing of the workers right now, I actually limiting it to be like reasonably small, so I like my workers are not that big. But maybe I should just switch to like bigger workers. I actually don't know what's more efficient, honestly. With my current logic, definitely having smaller workers is actually more efficient, but yeah. Okay, so I really feel that this would be a good approach. Having this like global scheduler, just having unspecified workers, and I mean haulers are obviously specified because they just carry resources. It is just worthwhile to have them because it's kind of wasteful to send like a proper worker that has like half the capacity. Yeah, I definitely should have dedicated haulers. I probably don't really will need too many of them. But they should definitely be around. Okay, so how would I do that? So if it's a global scheduler, then first of all, like under memory, I should just have my global scheduler, right? Now, I already kind of have this. So basically for room, I have array of, right, so for each room I have the specific jobs. So then I have like repair jobs, build jobs, etc., right? And that's actually a thing I already have, so we can just reuse that logic. You can see it over here, right? So I have build jobs, disassembly jobs, refill jobs, all this stuff, right? Repair jobs. Yeah. So that's fine. Then okay, there's an interesting thing then. So if I have a global scheduler, interesting question that crops up immediately is, how do I decide between rooms? Because if I have a global scheduler, obviously I can have a situation where if I go by room, I can kind of like pull in the workers from the surrounding rooms to just do stuff in this room, which is totally fine. Like that could be the correct decision. But how do I make sure that I'm not like starving a room by doing this? If I go, okay, so if I schedule first by job, then by room, this still might be fine. Because, right, so again, just a reminder, so it would be like, it would be, the jobs are like refill, build, repair, upgrade. What else was there? Let's just, oops. It's build, disassemble, refill, repair, upgrade. I missed on disassemble, so I guess disassemble is stop. But the thing is, I don't, well, maybe I do. I want to limit how many creeps I send to a specific job. Generally, probably only one. And because of that, what kind of happens naturally is if I have available creeps and I suddenly see like, hey, there's a refill job, what should happen is that there might be, you know, if there's one refill job, there will be one creep that will be needed. That's tricky. Like, this can still be very flaky. I'm trying to think like how to make this so it's not like sending the creeps all over the place all the time. Um, because the problem that will happen, and yeah, so okay, so the general problem I see with the scheduling overall is that there will usually be only few creeps that are actually available. Because okay, so if I'm, you know, inside a particular tick, right? Most creeps will be busy with the job. Because that's what the logic is doing. It's like there's bunch of jobs. I usually don't want to have like enough, like too many creeps, so I actually have like bunch of idle creeps all the time. So actually, really, there should only be a few creeps, should only ever, just, you know, from efficiency reasons, be only a few creeps available. Now the problem with this is that if there is like an unbound scheduler that just kind of can claim creeps from anywhere, which I mean already that will not be the case. There'll be some sort of limit set up, which, you know, makes sense. But basically the problem becomes if there is only a distant creep available, should we allocate this creep or should we wait for a closer creep? Yeah, so this is basically what it boils down to. The entire problem of this scheduling is, since we will only have a few creeps available at any point of time, if we are in a situation that we have like a very distant creep, should we actually wait instead and leave that creep unallocated? Now this gets very tricky because you need to consider things like you need to consider the number of creeps that are around and might become available. I mean, this is okay, so this is becoming like a proper scheduling problem at this point. I have so the resource here is creeps. So my resource that I am allocating are creeps. Now, if I can estimate the number of ticks a particular job will take, which I probably can, right? Right, if I actually have this information, then actually answering this question might be relatively easy. Because what I'm actually looking for is find the minimum wall time. Yeah. Creep, right. So basically what this means is this could be a creep that is currently busy. This is basically the remaining work time plus time to travel. I mean, this is fun, come on. And I mean, honestly, I'm just throwing ideas, you know, it's... But I think this actually might work. So basically... it will not work? Why would it not work? Because other creep is doing other tasks, but assigned to next can be free much sooner. Well, not if I do this. So, okay, so imagine that I have a job, right? I just go over all my creeps. And I basically ask, okay, like, if you would do this job, what's the earliest time you can start doing it, right? That could be literally just the time to travel, but it also could be the remaining work time plus the time to travel. Now the thing is, I don't actually have to pre-allocate it because I just want to... Do I actually need to pre... I need to think about this. I don't think I need to pre-allocate it. Because this thing... So this will be monotonically changing. Time to completion team creep, right? This thing basically. So I'm basically trying to find the fastest creep to do the job. Okay, let me just reread what you said about the other thing. Allocates many locations to taking energy and delivering at the same time. The thing is, I don't know if I need to pre-allocate. So what this logic is actually doing is... So this is basically preventing me from like grabbing a creep right, yes. So I don't really pre-allocate, but I need to like kind of mark this creep that it's busy with something else. As in, the other jobs that will be doing the same logic, they cannot then consider this creep as part of the, you know, potential minimal creep, right? Because the thing I don't have to do is store it in between ticks. Because if I run this again, this logic should kind of return the same stuff. So I'm not pre-allocating it in a sense that the creep actually remembers that when it's done with this job, it needs to do another job. But I technically can actually do that. Like, it's not a problem. The thing is, if I do that, I need to be careful, because then I need to kind of have like a job cleanup logic. I think like this is something I will need to think about offline. The thing is, like, this is proper job scheduling. I did this before. It's just that I need to figure out exactly what I'm scheduling against what. And like in this case, it's very complicated because it's basically like a job is a multi-step thing. And I basically, there's a bunch of things I want to minimize, right? And maximize. Like, I want to minimize travel time, obviously. I want to maximize like the work throughput. Yeah, it's very interesting. Yeah, I will. Can you actually point me to like the message in Slack? Because I definitely want to have a look. Like where this gets complicated is exactly with the resources, right? Because this includes like part of the job is having a good place to pick up resources. So basically, like, each of the jobs is kind of travel to a container, pick up resources, travel to workplace, do job, right? And I could technically split this. What would happen if I just treat this as two different jobs? Like, literally, if I have a creep that doesn't have resources, what if the default behavior is just to find a place to pick up resources? Okay, I'm definitely bookmarking this, thanks. Yeah. But yes, maybe as a simplification, I can basically break down the jobs into like separate things, right? So, okay, so let's think about this, right? So what if what if the default logic for workers is to pick up resources until full? To make sure that this is stable, and I don't have like the creeps like changing their mind all the time where they're actually going and where they want to pick up resources, I still want to schedule this. So if I have this, then basically for the job scheduler, I only consider creeps that are full with resources for job scheduling. Now this already simplifies things by a lot. So this means that for job scheduling, I'm only really scheduling the job itself. So at that point, I literally only have oh, but then I cannot consider busy creeps. Yes. So this doesn't actually fix it. Well, like if I consider only creeps that are full with energy, then obviously like the ones that are full with energy are not doing any jobs, right? Because then they are not full of energy because they are doing a job. But I could kind of make this halfway there, right? I could consider, I could say like let's man, okay, I would really need to think about this offline. Because this is getting really mind-bending. I could consider the creeps that are about to become full of energy. Because then, yeah, so I could consider creeps that are about to fill up with energy, because for those I know where they will be. Because again, for the job scheduling, all I kind of want to have basically is like the minimum arrival time at a job site, which translates to like the essentially the busy time, which is whatever the creep is right now doing. Well, okay, let's just write it normally. Busy time plus travel time from location to job. Yeah. Maybe. Yeah. The thing I'm worrying about, like, if I do this, like, to do this the proper way, and I, like, one thing is, there's the only thing that's preventing me from, like, literally what I can do is I can have a schedule that has like creep, and then it like for each tick it has like, you know, travel, you know, basically travel, repair, travel, you know, pick up, and so on. And there's like another creep which has like the same basically time schedule. I can literally create something like this. The only limitation is CPU. And the thing is, like with unlimited CPU, like creating this is actually not that hard. Like making this kind of schedule is actually relatively easy. But making this fast is really hard. I could also kind of do a very different approach, like more akin to like swarm logic, which would be like kind of driven by the creeps, as in, you know, creep goes, hey, I have nothing to do, what is a nearby job? And then I can kind of have like essentially like attraction logic that tries to like move creeps, move like the centers of gravity of creeps around through, you know, either explicit movement or just controlling the response. Like this would be fairly simple. I mean, I still need to have the same like job scheduler, right? That doesn't change. Like the job scheduler still needs to exist. Like all the allocations are the same. There's nothing like crazy happening. The interesting part of this piece of like model is the attraction logic, which will be like a slowly moving thing. That maybe sometimes just needs to like explicitly move creeps around like very forcefully, but generally it should just like adjust the like limits on the response in each rooms. Maybe I should implement it. Okay, yeah, I think I will. Okay, let's stop with this circular logic. Okay, I think I will think about this offline. But like I feel like either I will go kind of the like full, like some sort of approximation of the full schedule. The good thing about the full schedule is actually it can be relatively coarse. Like it definitely doesn't have to be per tick, because honestly, like even inside of a room, like the creep will spend like 10 ticks or 20 ticks traveling. So it doesn't have to be like super precise as far as the like the resolution. But yeah, the swarm logic might be much simpler to implement, because like this actually could be relatively simple, like based on very simple things, which is like Yeah, maybe in the rooms that are kind of stable, I just need like a couple of creeps to kind of maintain things, and maybe, you know, keep the controller just, you know, topped up. In the rooms that are still kind of growing and stuff, maybe I need way more creeps. Yeah. Yeah. Okay. Enough of this. Let's just have a look what's happening around. So, let's just go through my rooms. Yeah. I mean, the thing with the gravity is kind of, you still kind of need to ensure that all the rooms have like good enough like resource, you know, situations, which for example this room doesn't at all. Like this room is like non-stop out of resources, but that's because my like remote mining is not efficient enough. But yeah, let's just quickly go through stuff. Yeah, we cannot really build any. We can build a tower. Probably don't really need to do that. Yeah, this is... Yeah. The thing is, I will definitely need to do something because the current job system is really not good. Then we have this room. Can we build anything over here? Not really. Okay. And this is also kind of neglected. And there's a lot of stuff happening over here. Cool. Okay, let's have a quick peek on the seasonal. Let's see if I can start remote mining. That would be neat. I can. Perfect. Okay. Well, let's do that. That's the last thing of this stream. So I just need to remind myself on these things. So I need to add scout room. The thing is, I don't really, so I'm not really looking to optimize my CPU as such. Like the things I'm doing is more about like throughput right now, because I still have like plenty of CPU left. So I think I will be looking at those libraries later when I actually need to optimize my CPU. Honestly, right now, my main problem is the logic is just so bad that the like inefficiency of what I'm doing is just killing me. Right. Yes, this room, I definitely want to have a scout in here. So E9 and 19. And I think I will park the scout over here. E9 and 19. So that's, oops, that's one thing. Yeah. I'm definitely seeing the like weird avoidance logic happening on the like current pathfinding. That one is like very weird. This room only has one energy source and it's in a pretty bad position. Do I want to really mine it? Probably not, at least for now. But I definitely want this one. Yeah, this one is pretty good. So let's put the scout over here. So E8 and 18. And yep, then the... Why is the... Damn it, the like completion to the like previous command worked before. Why is it not working anymore? E8 and 18. I want to have a scout in here. And I also want can build tunnel. Wait a second. What do you mean can build tunnel? There is something I don't know. Just from that sentence. You can build roads on wall. Damn it. And welcome, Captain Obvious. Well, then don't spend your points if you want to build them up. Yeah, I mean, honestly, my current bottleneck isn't even that. Like, my current bottleneck is basically my logic right now. Cool. Well, welcome. I really need to be paying more attention when I'm reading documentation, I feel like, because I'm missing like lot of things. You can also build roads on top of natural terrain walls which are otherwise impassable. Okay. Ah, okay, but then they're like super expensive to repair. Okay. Man. No, I mean, so the thing is, this will actually be super good. So this is another thing that I definitely want to invest into is... okay, let me just turn on the chat again. I definitely want to have like a road optimizer per room. Because like this is something that 100% I'm totally sure there's like no way I will be able to like lay out the roads in an efficient way like by hand. And I really feel that making a road optimizer that will just kind of build roads on places that the creeps are actually stepping on that are not roads, and destroying roads that basically are not used. Like I think, well, not destroying, just letting them decay basically should be great. Yeah, that's actually... But I mean, if you just do pathfinding between common places, you will not figure out... Like, the pathfinding will take into the account, like, the cost of swamps and go around walls, right? So I mean, what do you... But then what do you do? Do you just like set the cost to 1 for all of them? Because that shouldn't be the case either. Like you still want to kind of maintain these relative costs, perhaps, like that the fact that it decays five times faster on a swamp. Okay. Yeah, definitely something I will need to look into. But I feel like my job logic is way more broken right now. Oops, no, I want this window. Okay, so we have visibility in this room, good. So now let's just do remote miners. So actually, I just want to reserve this room, honestly. So let's. It was the change room ownership, right? So change room ownership in this room. So E8 and 18 to reserved, and for the other room as well, for this one. Yeah, so change room ownership, E9 and 19 reserved. So I didn't do it, but that's actually the logic I'm considering. So I'm considering just like recording where my creeps step, and then basically just act on that. Okay, my scout is confused. Why are you confused? Wait a second. What's wrong with you? E9 and 19. E9 and 19. You should go to this flag. Why are you not going to this flag? Which one was it? It's the 548 at the end. So it's returning -2. What is -2 on the move? Creep. Move. Oh, it's move 2, right. So minus no path? This was happening before. I feel like there's a bug in the pathfinding. I mean, there is obviously a way to get to the flag. Like, how is this happening? You know what? Since you are being so stupid, change position to here. Like, suddenly it's okay. What the hell was that? And this is not the first time I had this bug where like the creep just like refused to move to something in the room, even though there was like obviously a path. What's with this? Like, seriously, this is super strange and super annoying also. Yeah, it's so strange. Like maybe I should just have a thing where I just like nudge them into the room by one step when they like enter a room or something. I don't know. But this is like extremely annoying, I have to say. I mean, obviously, like from here to up here, there is a path. Like there is no way that there's not a path. It's like, yeah, weird. Anyway. Right, I wanted to register the remote operations then. So, what were the methods for this again? Update remote mining. Right. So, update remote mining. So for this source, I will want to have, let's say 4 miners. Should be good enough. And for this one as well. And yeah, now let's go to this room and let's do the same. So this source, oops, update remote mining. Update remote mining for this source. My CPU usage is like completely irrelevant at this point because like, yeah, it's like I'm kind of making sure that I'm not like burning through it like super fast, but really like I'm nowhere near being to like being anything concerning, honestly. Yeah, definitely, but this, so with the career, it goes back to my entire problem of the jobs. Like I really need a job scheduler. Because the reason why I'm not doing this is like I have this inside of my rooms. Like inside of my core rooms, I'm doing exactly that. Right? I have just basically, I call them drills. I have these Screeps that only have work parts and have one move just to get to that place, and that's it. And there's a container beneath them. But because like my scheduling only really works properly inside of a room, and even then it doesn't really work properly right now. Oh, this guy is stuck again. God damn it. What's with this room? Like there's something with this room. Like this guy is stuck now again. It should go to this controller, but it's just not moving there. Oh, damn it. How do I fix this? I mean, maybe forcing them to go through the other entrance? That might actually fix it? I don't know. Yeah, let's try that. I will just try to wall this off. Because I think there's something weird with this area. Oh, I cannot build that close to... Ah, that's so annoying. That's fine. Let's just build like a simple wall over there. And suddenly it... Like seriously, what just changed? nothing changed, and this guy suddenly can find a path. Like, what the hell? This is not okay. Like, what's happening? Why did this guy suddenly change his mind? Damn it. Yeah, and let's just change this flag over here. No, okay. Stop the change. Okay, fine then. Reload. Yeah. Again, I don't really need to optimize my CPU at all. So this is the seasonal world, but like even on the persistent world, I really don't have CPU issues at all. I have efficiency issues, definitely. And I think those need to be fixed first. Yeah, I mean, I don't really have path flapping really happening. Wait, no, but the pathfinding returned -2, as in there's no path. It's not that it like... Yeah, I mean, that's what I'm saying. Like, it literally is returning this thing, no path. Like, if it was flapping, that would be a different thing, but it's literally failing to find a path, and I ran into this already once, but in that case it actually made sense. So if we go to my rooms, I have this weird room that basically on the entrance there's this swamp, and the creeps would basically get stuck and they couldn't like path through the swamp until I basically set the swamp's cost to 1. Yeah, I might need to also look into like a different pathfinding library, not to like optimize stuff, but these like creeps getting stuck on the borders is super annoying. Yeah. Cool. I think I kind of did the things I wanted to do today. I have a lot of things to think about, definitely. Like all of this like scheduling stuff, like figuring out if I want to do my like something like a swarm logic rather than the scheduler. I will really need to think about, like, if I'm doing scheduling, I will need to think about like what it actually means. And the thing is, I was once like a couple of jobs ago, I was actually working as a researcher, and the main thing I did research on was actually job scheduling. And I even have like these unpublished results that there are still like, because I left basically what. So I have some interesting scheduling algorithms to kind of apply that no one else is using. But I really need to kind of conceptualize what exactly am I scheduling to what are the objectives, like what I'm actually optimizing for, what's what I'm trying to maximize, minimize, and that kind of stuff. Once I kind of understand that, writing the actual scheduling algorithm should actually be fairly straightforward. But right now I have trouble like even basically like saying what actually needs to be up, like what are the parameters that I'm trying to minimize, what are the parameters I'm trying to maximize. All the stuff I kind of need to figure out. And I will also try to think about like trying to isolate essentially the common pieces. So if I can kind of isolate things that would be used in any, that I would basically use no matter what, right? Which is probably like the definition, the thing I already kind of started writing, which was like the definition of a job workflow, having these like steps, atomic steps that are actually what the creep is doing. And I can basically start implementing those with some very trivial logic, and then start actually expanding on that and writing something much more smarter. But yeah, I will definitely need to think about that offline, and I will also read up on the things on the Slack, because yes, there's definitely some interesting stuff there. Damn it, these coasters. Okay, so I think I will wrap up for today. I think I'm super happy with the progress. So we did the respawn manager. This thing is now very nicely encapsulated. There's literally only, there's one static method, which is to create it, and then there's just one run method somewhere up here, right? So there's this static thing that will just create a respawn manager, and there's just this run that will just run it. So I'm super happy with how encapsulated this is. This entire thing is still way too big. And yes, there's a lot of like common logic that definitely can be extracted into like subroutines, and that will happen eventually. But this is a great start. I'm super happy with that. And I feel like next week, hopefully next week, I have some idea of what I want to do with my job scheduling. Previously, I kind of optimistically started with the smart scheduler, but I kind of got bogged down in the details. So yeah, I think the stepping back and thinking about it will be very useful. Okay. Creeps that don't have anything to do are basically just sweeping up resources. That's what's happening. So, and specifically, they are sweeping them into the storage. So, kind of naturally, if this is kind of the logic that if creeps have nothing to do, they will pick up things from containers and just put them into the storage. But yes, I do have like a very high limit on upgraders, so they actually do spend like a lot of them will just default to upgrading because the limit on that is pretty high. Right. Let's look around who is streaming right now, and if the raid button is working, we will try to raid someone. I didn't work yesterday, so we will see. Let me just look around. Okay, let's see. Let's try this. Did it work? Yes, it did work. Cool, perfect. Okay, thank you for watching, and as usual, you know, I will be streaming next week the same time as always. If you have any questions in the meantime, you can drop into my Discord. The links should be in the description of the stream. And thank you for the late sub, just as we are leaving. Thank you very much.
Thank you, thank you, thank you.
But yes, see you everybody. And follows and things are happening. Yeah, crazy stuff. Last minute stuff. Right, yes. See you next week. Thanks again.